Oh, there it is. My bad. Okay, take two here, I guess. Here I am again. Thad Turner, a.k.a. the Redneck Juggernaut, a.k.a. Christian Red Pill Minister. Excuse me. There we go. Giving you another video live. It's been a while since I've done one, so I thought I was due up for one and would give you one here. So, yeah, here we go. We're going through kind of a temperamental time of year here in my home state. Kind of making up its mind whether it wants to be winter or wants to be spring. And we were even up into the 80s last week, so it was almost like it wanted to be summer. But we're back to late winter, early spring again. In fact, we just gotten some snow has just melted off. So, interesting state we live in. It really is. Interesting place. Anywho, with that being said, I want to do a video here, and I'm going to get a little intense here, I think, today, because it's appropriate for this. I mean, after all, politics is kind of a man-made thing, so at the end of the day, it's not really worth getting all that stressed out over. But when it comes to religion, philosophy, and that sort of thing, this is stuff to get a little stressed over and perhaps lose some sleep, or at least engage in some hard and very critical thought when you do so, because your eternity depends on it, and your fate of the afterlife depends on it. So these are questions that need to be thought of rather hard and researched hard and weighed hard. And what I'm going to do is that's all I want to do. I'm just here to make you think, and make you think as hard as you can about this, and question yourself. If you come away from a discussion and you're not thinking about, at least thinking about what the other person has to say, then, you need to get away from that person or group of people, possibly, or rethink your religion, or rethink your philosophy. I like to call it a philosophy. Like, when it comes to Christianity, to me, it's really a philosophy and a way of life. And I live according to the teachings of Jesus Christ, one Jesus Christ who called himself the Son of God and was the Son of God, the eternal Son of God. So, with that being said, let me get into the meat of what I'm about to say, and that's about, when it comes to the afterlife. And this is a pretty hotly debated topic in, both Christian and non-Christian and secular circles, or what I would call the people that call themselves atheists. Now, I've had enough discussions with atheists to kind of understand where they're coming from. And really what they're trying to do, in essence, is they don't like, the proof is there if you're looking for God. It's there. We didn't evolve. We were created. The world was created. So what the atheists or secularists, or whatever they want to call them, what they're trying to do is destroy this idea. They're trying to destroy this idea of God. I like to call them nihilists, because that, to me, is what they're, in essence, doing. It's what the German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche back in the day was trying to do. He didn't like the idea of God, so he had to go out trying to destroy that idea, eliminate it altogether. With that being said, there's another group that I want to kind of address here. Christian secularists, or those who they call themselves Christians, and there's a lot of them around where I'm at. They're Universalists, Unitarian Universalists. They'll call themselves Christians, but they're not. They have nothing in common with Christians. In fact, they do everything. All they do is they do everything but deny the existence of God. You know, they want to make God into what they want to make him. And the thing they do not want to do is call out sin or call out anything as, morally wrong, or, they have no sense of objective morality whatsoever. They want to make everything, truth is relative, morality is relative, everything is relative. And if you've read the Bible in any depth, you know that this is not true, and you know that Jesus Christ was anything but objective when he talked about morality or truth. John 14:6. I don't need to say any more. And even John 3, And if you notice, I said John 3, because John 3:16 was just a verse in that chapter. You got to read all of John 3. So, anyways, with that being said, and there's another group I'd like to go in on this, but I'm going to focus on the atheists and the Unitarians the Universalists in this video. Because unfortunately, the Calvinists, and I have a problem with that way of thinking too, but I'm not going to address it in this video, because they think almost along the lines of the Universalists and the atheists as well. But they kind of go at it, take it in another direction that I'm going to address in another video. But here's the whole thing with that, with the atheists and the secularists. And this is where you got to kind of go with them. And I want to do it with love too, by the way. I don't want to do it with too much. I mean, I might throw a barb in there here and there, because to me the thinking is completely illogical. It's completely off the rails. But if you'd use too much satire and sarcasm and barbing comments, people will miss that and they think you're just being a jerk. And I don't want to do that. But by the same token, we got to point out the error in their thinking, in their logic. Okay, to an atheist or a Universalist, and I know the Universalist wants to think too that God is unfair. God is being unfair in punishing people and sending them to hell. Okay, we'll go with the grounds of denying God or denying hell. I get it. You guys think that God is unfair in allowing evil and suffering, or in creating a hell where people will be punished for what they choose to do in this life. There it is. Choices, which means that God gave us all a free will, starting with Adam, all throughout history, all throughout everything. God has given us a free will to choose to do what we want or not want to, or not do that, what we sometimes want. I guess where Jesus said it's sin to look at a woman with lust. I get it. We're opening that door to sin when we do it. And these are the hard sayings of Jesus. And I know that's what he was getting at when he talked about, well, adultery is sin. Yes, it is, but so is looking at a woman with lust, which means that when you do that, you are opening that door. And in that case, we have that choice. when we look at that woman with lust, or we start to form that thought in our mind, we are already opening that door. And my thing to both the atheists and the universalists is to say this: we have been given the free will by God to live according to His word or not, to reject it. And if we go our whole entire life rejecting what God has done, rejecting what God has said, living a life according to what we want, mocking God, reviling God, rejecting God, rejecting those who believe in God, living according to our own moral standards, and just giving God the middle finger all the way, saying that we're God, and we come to the end of our life, then we have the audacity, to me that's what it is, the audacity to then say that God is unfair in judging a person who's lived a life according to the way they wish to live, not caring if they harm anyone, family included. You say that's unfair. Then what is fair? Please, share this with me, if you dare. What is fair then? What do you define as fair? And you know what? I'm not gonna go on this anymore. So again, I'm just here to make you think and share my thoughts as well. Okay, that's all I have for today. Thanks for listening. Later.